A lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are angry. A lot of people are skeptical about the outcome of the presidential election. Certainly the president continues to push back. Bring us up to date and tell me all about this extraordinary organization fighting hard for Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue.
Hey, Mike, how are you? Well, as you said, there was a lot of frustration on the ground, but the most important message I just want to start off with is we can't let that frustration translate into complacency, and that's the biggest issue and concern that I have. I've heard a lot of my conservative colleagues and friends of mine around the state talking about doing a protest vote by not voting at all. You might as well just hand the keys to the Democrats because they're going to then control the Senate at that point. We
Right.
have to win these two seats, and the Keep America America Action Fund that we created, that I'm chairing, is so important to do that because we are doing the hard work and the heavy lifting of getting people out to vote and making sure that that complacency does not settle in, between the early voting that takes place through January the 5th.
Wow. I mean, I'm a little bit in shock that anybody on I put our side of the equation is suggesting that people stay home. I'm why would any self-respecting American play into the hands of the Democrat agenda?
Yeah, that's right, Mike, and that's why we're here to pounce that immediately because that kind of thinking is really going to kill the conservative vote here. It's going to hand, like I said, the keys to the two Democrats, and we cannot have that. As you know, Mike, we need to have the system of checks and balances. In this particular case, a divided government is good for America because we need that system to put a check on the Democratic agenda, which we know what it is. It's the Green New Deal. It's higher taxes. It's implementing socialized health care. I mean, everything that we feared would literally be basically a green light to happen if we let these two Senate seats go. And so we want to make sure that I know people are frustrated. I know people are upset about what's happening and potential voter irregularities that are happening in Georgia, but we cannot let that be a reason why people don't go to the polls and don't go and do their vote. We are encouraging people to do the early voting in person so that we avoid some of these mail-in ballot issues. But I have to tell you, Stacey Abrams, what I've heard, the latest number that I've heard, Mike, is that she basically already has 1 million mail-in ballots already predisposed for the two senators. And so we got to make sure that we fight hard and we fight as though our very existence is on the line.
Alfredo, I'm not kidding you. Keep America America Action Fund has almost been an answer to a prayer because all I've heard for weeks now from listeners all over the country is how can we help? How can we help Perdue and Loeffler? How can we help Georgia and keep the Democrats from getting both chambers, which would be a disaster for this
Yeah.
country? And it's simple. I mean, I now I have an answer. Go to keepamericaamerica.com. Keepamericaamerica.com. Support this organization like the country's future depends on it because Alfredo Ortiz, it does.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And Mike, I have to tell you, the funds that are flowing into Georgia from all over the country, Ossoff, for example, I saw the latest estimate there, 70% of the contributions going to him are outside of Georgia. Whereas, for example, for the two senators, for Loeffler and for Perdue, it's about a third are coming, from outside of Georgia. So the money is coming in. Zuckerberg, for example, a recent study just came out on there in terms of that project that was supposed to be bipartisan for kind of get out the vote and political action. 70% of those funds went to Democratic counties, and
Right.
so we got to make sure that we counteract that. The Keep America America Action Fund is there to do that. The grassroots stuff that we know how to do very well. Getting the people out there, using those funds for billboards, for social media, for bus tours, making sure that people understand how important what is literally writing on the line, Mike.
See, I can't wait to talk to you from Georgia. Alfredo, thank you so much, and thanks for all your efforts. Keep America America Action Fund responsible for the content of this advertising, paid for by Keep America America Action Fund, keepamericaamerica.com, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Do your part.